In this video of Dead Rails, I will be looting every single gold bar there is inside the game, and I'll be counting them at the end to see how many we gathered. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned till the end to find that out. So this is how I started my journey. First of all, I got the money, that's obvious, but with the money I bought a revolver, ammo, and one piece of coal. I don't buy 3 coal cause that seems weird, 1 is more than enough. And I need a revolver for these guys, bandits. Now, why do you think I'm going for the bandits? Since one bandit goes for $35 each, it would be pretty stupid of me to ignore them at the early game and skip out on all the money they will give me. So, I take the chance. Since I have survivalist class equipped, they're pretty much one headshot, and this is pretty easy money for me. So my tip would be to not skip them if you find them. Now, since I found 6 of them, that is $200, and it's a good amount of money. And now moving on, I found a sheriff, which also gave me a rifle and some revolver ammo, which was pretty good for the start. But luckily I found another sheriff, which also gave me a rifle and also gave me an armor piece, which was decent since it's just the start of the game. But I was still worried that my town raid wouldn't go so well. But it's all for the town raid ultimately, because that's the main purpose in the game. Now, while moving, I encountered a knight. Luckily it was zombie knight, so not much issue, and also found a gunsmith, which gave me a golden plate, just increasing my net worth in the game, which was pretty decent. Now moving on to the main part, the town raid. How did I go up and measure it all and get the gold? It was pretty easy. First thing, I straight went up to bank guy and eliminated him. I went to the bank and started to loot it, cause that is where I will get the gold bars. I think I got 3 pieces of gold bars and 2 silver and some bonds, which is a pretty decent deal. Also went to a doctor, free bandages, pretty nice, right? And the main thing is you want to go to church if you're raiding a town. Why? You might get holy water and a crucifix, which is pretty decent amount of money since a crucifix goes for $50, and that is pretty good cause you want to sell them. And I didn't really want to sell my gold bars cause I want to tally them at the end. Now this is when I reached my first checkpoint, the first 10,000 meters, and the first thing I did was sell my bandits. And I got $200 as I said, but while selling it also happened to be a lightning night, so I had to rest. But luckily when I went out of the house I found a horse, and a bandit followed down, so free horse, lucky for me. And I got some more money from the other loot. So with that money I bought some shotgun, some ammo, some stuff like armor, not particularly iron, but I found armor and some snake oil with the money left, which completed my first checkpoint and what I did. Now after this I moved on with my journey to next 20,000 meters, and I encountered another gunsmith on the way, which gave me a turret and some ammo, which is really not that bad because I could use some. And while moving during night I came across Sterling Town at 20,000 meters, which was a bit of a surprise to me because I never really thought it would be there, and it was vampire night as well. So I got some vampires, hung them to dry to sell them of course later on. But hey, I got the Sterling Town and I went to raid it cause it's got a lot of bonds and stuff. So this is how you actually raid it pretty quick. So first of all, there's a jade tablet in the church, go grab it. After that, go to the sheriff, as you can see, grab the torch, and with the torch you can take the dynamite and blow the door to the mine, which is the main part where you want to loot. Alright, now I'm gonna tell you a quicker version of how to loot this mining place. When you enter, go straight towards the left, complete left, you'll find this another jade tablet that you really need. And while moving you might also find these 3 drums, so you just gotta throw them away and you'll find a hidden door behind them where you will find another jade tablet. Now just place all the tablets you have over there and go to the 4th jade tablet that is behind these wooden bars. So you blow them up with dynamite. But be really careful cause there's something that might start a raid. You can also avoid it, but I like it. I got the gold bars from here which I was looking for, a jade mask and a jade tablet as well, the forged jade tablet that we need. The raid that occurs gives you werewolves and skeletons, of course. They will be there, but after the raid ends there will be no more skeletons, so you're completely fine. Now you just place your forged jade tablet right over there, and after that a hidden door opens which will give you another gold bars, a jade sword which you might really like, but guess what, I don't really need them, so I just sold them later on. You can also find a lot of bonds over there, which is pretty nice, but I mainly came for gold bars, which was necessary. Now this is how you actually raid it, but on the way out you could also grab the bonds from each of the buildings. Since it was nighttime, I decided to stay in a building, and it was lighting, so I couldn't really move out, right? Now moving on to the next main part, the town raid. What happened? How was it? It was a big town. But the major part is you gotta make sure to check all the buildings, cause like this, there was a gold bar. And since it was nighttime, let me tell you something. Even if it's nighttime, you are completely safe if you are inside a building. For some reason, the buildings inside towns have some kind of particular protection that helps you from werewolves or vampires. For some reason, they can't really come inside. Just makes them weird. I don't know, it happened a lot. So if you want to get protected, there you go. And I moved on to another bank which gave me some more bonds and gold bars, which was pretty less. I got 2 gold bars and just 3 silver. I got more bonds though. There was another bank and still only 2 gold bars, which was, I don't know, I just didn't really, I thought I could get more, but I did get another gold bar from a normal building. Now that sums up what happened with the town. But on the way out I got a werewolf knight, and I wanted to try the same thing, but it didn't really work. For some reason the town buildings work and the normal buildings inside the town don't really work, so werewolves gathered around me, but I was in a locked place, so I was completely fine. And moving on, I also got a bandit camp, and I hope to get a gold bar, and I did get a gold bar there, and some loot, a bond as well, which was pretty nice. Now after looting all of this, all that was left for me was to go to my 20,000 meters checkpoint. And the first thing I did after reaching there was sell all the stuff I had, which nearly rounding about resulted in around a plus $1,000, which was a great deal by the way. So I think I got $1,115, and I bought a lot of ammo, so I wouldn't really have to worry about that. I bought an armor chest piece, and that completed my armor set. And after that I bought a lot of snake oil, cause healing was gonna be a really necessary part, and I decided to rearrange the gold pieces I had to make them look really nice. And now I moved on to my next 30,000 checkpoint area, and on the way I found a doctor and furniture, but since I didn't really have a use for it, I just left them and moved straight on to the town raid. Now the town was really small, it had just one bank, so the raid went pretty easy. There was not much to do, so I went straight for the guy and then the bank straight away. While looting, the night had occurred. It was a vampire night, so I was still a bit afraid, but I was like, maybe it still works for the bank because it was a building inside the town. And sure it did. So I looted the bank and vampires were outside, not able to come in for some reason. So I just enjoyed my time over there. And I looted all the gold bars, and it wasn't much, but hey, you know, loot is loot. It was 3 gold bars, which is pretty good. I'm not gonna say no to that, of course. Now, for some weird reason, when I was inside the bank, the vampires kept on appearing beneath me, below me for some weird reason. And I went on to loot some furniture, some coal, I don't know, just normal stuff, right? Bank, town raid accomplished, it was easy. But the main part comes now. After this, I also had a laboratory right next to me. I saw that, of course, and you don't really want to activate the raid part because it's no use. I only wanted the gold bars, so I went inside, moved to the left, that's where you'll find the gold. I found, I think, 2 pieces, which was, you know, a plus for me, ultimately. But I didn't really have to do anything with experiments, so I moved on with my journey. Now, while moving, I found this building, the farm building, but unluckily, while moving, I also had Lightning Knight. So I took in 2 snake oils and made my way over there. I was really scared because if lightning strikes, I'm pretty much done for, and all the progress I've made is gonna be gone. It was night, there was a lot of zombies in there, but since I was already stacked up on armor and ammo, I wasn't really afraid. So the fight wasn't really a hassle, but the plus side to this was I had just lost my horse, so I got a new one. And I put the saddle on him and went on back to the train. And this completed my next 30,000 meters checkpoint, and this was all that happened. And after that, I decided to sell my loot, and it wasn't really, useful for me anymore because I already had money. But since I had some more money, I used that to take some snake oil, because snake oil always comes in handy no matter where you are. I had a lot of ammo, so I didn't really feel like spending on that. Now after this, I moved on to my next 40,000 meter checkpoint, and I avoided every single building on the way because they were of no use to me since I had everything I need, and moved on to the town raid, which was the necessary part. And I moved on straight to the bank guy, eliminated that guy, got whatever loot he had to offer to me, and went straight to open the locker. And now I think I got 2 pieces of gold, which was decent, but I got a lot of bonds, which made me a little bit happy. But during leaving that place, night occurred, a lightning night, which was bad, so I had to rest there for a while. Then I moved on to the second bank, which gave me 3 pieces of gold, which was really nice. Alright, that was the best one I've had in this town, of course. But now after this, what I did, guess what? I completed the town raid and moved on with my journey to the 40,000 meters checkpoint. And during that, I found the castle, which was pretty obvious because it was going to be there. Now I decided to wait the night because raiding castle at night is what you call being stupid. So here's some tips if you want to raid castle pretty good. You need a shotgun, a rifle, a lot of snake oil, and a survivalist class if you're gonna do it solo. So this is how I am doing it. You can see it clearly how I did it. So in a quick way, I would say that the room to the left, if you're gonna go for gold bars, is the only room you wanna loot. And other than that, there's gold plate room, there's a room with paintings, with statues, and then there's ammo, a lot of molotovs, bandages, and all that stuff. But ultimately, if you're gonna go for the gold bars, the only room is gonna be to the downstairs to the left part, and that's how you complete your castle raid. Now there's a video on that if you really want to watch that. I made a perfect video, so you can go watch that. But other than that, I sold the items I had. Didn't really have to sell them, but I decided because they were gonna be waste anyway. And then I arranged my gold bars, and which completed my 40,000 meters. And after this, I moved on to the next 50,000 meters. The start was a vampire night. Now guess what? I didn't really want to spend any time on vampires shooting them. So here's another tip if you really need it. It works even with werewolves, except the lightning night. All the nights are easy if you have a horse on you. What you gotta do is stay on your horse, just keep on running around. When it's day night, they will disappear. You don't waste any ammo, and it's pretty easy to deal with them. The next thing is, while moving, I decided to really loot a furniture for some reason. I guess I was really looking for coal at that point. But then I moved straight on to the town raid, the necessary part where I get the bags and take their gold bars away. So I moved on to the first bank, which had 2 gold bars for me, which was on the bad side because the bank can have 3, right? So it's okay, you know what, I'm not gonna cry. But while looting, it was also a zombie night, so I decided to stay in a building, in a gunsmith building, which gave me some ammo, a plus side on that. And then I moved straight on to the next bank, during which I found the issue that I had some stuff, so I had to keep some statues or some of the stuff I had for away for the gold bar. And after this, I completed my town raid, and while moving, I of course found a fortress, which was really unnecessary for me to go there because they have no gold bars over there. So no use for me to go over there, right? Because I have all the stuff they can give me except the cannon, which I really don't need. And this concludes my 50,000 meters And now I decided to move on to the 60,000 meters, but still it was night, so I decided to stay the night over there before I started moving. Now, of course, that was a pretty good thing to do, so it was just some free time to spare. So I decided to sack some coal at some place, some gold bars, and decided to move on to a gunsmith for some reason. I guess I was looking for ammo. I don't know why. I guess I was bored at that point. I don't know why. Alright, but yes. Now, I moved on to the town raid, which was pretty weird because it had a bandit camp right next to it and a town. So, a town and a bandit camp is pretty weird. So, I moved on to the bandit camp, eliminated the bandits, but it had no gold bars, so useless. Alright, now moving on to the town raid. What did I do? Of course, I got the guy, then moved on to the bank, which gave me 3 or 4 pieces of gold, which was pretty decent. Normally I don't get that, but hey, I'm not complaining. Alright, it only had 1 bank, so I can't really complain. So I moved on with my journey to the 60,000 meter checkpoint, which was pretty quick because I didn't do much. But during the checkpoint, I decided to sell some items that I had, because what else could I have done with that? Just sold them, right? But I decided to stay. There was a very full night. And luckily, I was pretty close to my achievement. So I got my variable achievement, killed 50 of them in a game, which was pretty good. This concludes my 60,000 meters. And now I moved on to 70,000 meters. It started off straight up with the town raid, which was a pretty small town with 1 bank. During this town raid, I had a pretty weird occurrence, or a glitch I should say. I eliminated the bandits. Guess what? Even after that, they started shooting me like, guys, you are not there. Your HP bar is 0. How are you shooting me? I guess they've got something to work on. Maybe they already patched it. But after that, I straight up went to the guy, got him eliminated, and straight went to the bank. That's the code, right, guys? You can choose that. Alright. Now, the bank had a statue, which was pretty useless because I can't really go for that. I needed the gold bars. I got 3 of them. Pretty good. Alright, and a single bank bond, which was meh, because I thought I would get at least 2, right? Then I moved on straight with my journey because the town raid was complete and I had nothing else to do except stack the gold bars I had. Now, and I still had a lot of coal, so I didn't really have to loot anything else because I only have 1 more checkpoint to go. And the dead bodies are still shooting me. During that, it was lightning night, so I got really afraid. So I put on 3 snake coils and ran straight to the building I saw, cause I didn't have the lightning catcher thingy. So I decided to stay night, but hey, I was fine. I didn't get hit by lightning. I decided to move on with the journey and let's go to the 70,000 meters. I don't know, for some weird reason I stopped by a furniture. Maybe I might run out of coal, even though I had 4 or 5 pieces. But luckily I got a banknote there, so it was a plus for me. Now, I started the banknotes at actually 70 and I am at 149 something, which was pretty good. So if you decided to loot every single thing in the town, you might have a lot of banknotes by the end of the game. So this is something you can learn. Alright, now I decided to move on to the last checkpoint. This was the last one, guys. I was really hyped up. So was the town because it was pretty big and it had 2 banks. I was like, this has to be the perfect ending for this video. So I went on to the looting part and lightning had to interfere, so I got a bit afraid and moved on straight to the bank. But I had 2 codes, so I could just, match one of them to one or another. So I did. For some weird reason, a lot of zombies walked by, but guess what? You are not that much of a trouble. Now, moving on to the banks, what did I get from them? Hey, why am I watching the node? Of course I get it. Now, I got 3 silver. Pretty bad. But I got 2 pieces of gold. I thought I would get more, man. I needed more. Since it was lightning night, I decided to play with the wheel for a little bit and moved straight on to the bank. Now where I got a bit lucky, just a little bit, and I got a lot of bonds and 3 pieces of gold bars, which I really needed. Thank you for 3. Thank you, game. Alright, now it is come to the end, guys. Now I decided to place all the gold bars I had and decided to arrange them a little bit, you know, to make them look a little bit good. A little bit, not too much, all right? A little bit good is good, all right? Okay. Now what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to tally with me how many gold pieces I have. So I started counting, of course, here. Now you can tally how much am I counting. Of course, I won't be counting here, but I know how much there are. So let me know till the end. Of course, I'm gonna be... Okay, I'm just counting here now. What can I say? And the number is gonna be... I'm not pretty sure about the number, but I think it was 47. Alright. Now, if you got the number right, congratulations. But if you didn't, hey, you lose. Now, guys, if you enjoyed the video and want me to do more stuff like this, let me know in the comments and make sure to subscribe. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video.